Bum, bum.
All right, we got a happy Bendy on a Tuesday morning. Welcome everybody to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I am Marcus Grant alongside Greg Bergman and Parker Bell, and we're having a good day. I guess we're just gonna have a musical interlude on this show every day now, which I'm fine with. I got no problem with that. But Greg, we are taking credit. We have a special guest today.
We do.
A couple weeks ago, we had technical issues, so we're giving it another shot. We have a special guest today.
What's going on, Richard Jacobs, who was with us before, but we had some technical issues, so he wasn't actually able to come on. He is our CHLA winner. Richard, what's going on, man? It's also happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great little present to start off the day. Everything's going great. The 21st with Mason in Ireland the other day, that was a blast, and the Dodgers won. What else can you ask for?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good day for the Dodgers. They get a 5-2 win over the Reds to start that series, bouncing back from that was a kind of a frustrating weekend in Boston, which I'm sure you guys talked about yesterday. But
We did.
Now we didn't get to a lot of things with you last time, Richard, because you had like a really insane list of Dodger games that you have been to. Like you have been a lifelong Dodger fan. You're from Los Angeles. I just want to kind of dive into that because we were talking about this before. You have like a crazy list of Dodger major events that you have been to in your life.
Yeah, thank you. Born and raised in LA. My dad worked for Prime Ticket, so we got to go to a lot of the games back in the day. Well, he worked with them, not for them. And so I got to go to the Fernando no-hitter, got to go to the Kirk Gibson home run, dozens of other games as well. And then I took my son, continuing the tradition. We got to go to the 18-inning game against Boston. And then, of course, the Freddie home run. That was the best.
That's great. Didn't you also go to, I think you said you went to Fernando's no-hitter too?
Yeah, Fernando's no-hitter. Exactly right. We were counting down outs. That was great.
That's wild. Yeah, that is an insane list for sure.
If I could go to one game, I think going to a no-hitter is something that I would have always liked to have gone to. I saw the Freddie home run, which was the greatest sports moment of my life, but seeing a no-hitter is just something else, Must be a crazy.
It really is, especially because I was a pitcher back in the day. So something I always appreciated is the difficulty of being on the mound and getting those outs. And so like being in the stands and going 9, okay, 6 more outs, 3 more outs, 1 more, and just counting it down. It's the opposite excitement of like Freddie's home run, where all of a sudden it's that momentary exhilaration, or the Gibson home run where you're just like out of your mind. It's like a calm, wait, 1 more. Okay, now I get to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, like the Gibson home run, the Freddie home run, you're sort of counting down outs, but not in a positive way, right? It's like, hey,
those are dangerous outs.
Hey, they're running out of outs. Like, you got to get something done here, as opposed to, hey, we're counting down, trying to get these last few outs. So, absolutely amazing thing to be at for sure. All right, let's talk about current Dodgers, because yesterday a 5-2 win. They go to Cincinnati, and the offense sort of comes to life. I mean, Richard, I think the last time we had you on, things weren't going so well. I feel like they had just lost a few. I think they were at the beginning of that 7-game losing streak that happened. Your thoughts now, though, we're sort of where they are. They've kind of started to pick things up. Just your feeling on what you've seen from this team recently.
I like putting Mookie in the one spot. I'm kind of traditional in that sense. I like having a leadoff hitter at the top so your power guys can drive him in. I'm a little bit crazy. I'd almost like to see Shohei in that third spot and put maybe, Freddie in the 2 hole, because Freddie used to hit there forever. And just imagine having 2 people in front of Shohei every time. But I know I'm old school with that, and that's not going to happen. So just seeing him in the 2 hole, I really like. One of these days, if we could get Mookie back in right field, oh God, that would be amazing, right? I mean, I love him at short, but all-time right fielder instead. But the pitching, the starting pitching starting to come around. I feel like we're starting to get guys healthy, and I feel like it's going to turn around. I got a big win yesterday. We were competitive in those games. It's in the big losing streak. I felt like we were just kind of getting our butt kicked. And now, no, we're back in the games. Okay, it went against us a little bit, but now their head's back in it. And so I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, it looks a lot better, and really, it's the top of the order. So I'm trying to look up the stats right now. I lost it somehow. I usually can get these pretty quickly, but Mookie in the leadoff spot is just a completely different batter than he is in every single other period. When Mookie's in the leadoff spot, he bats 295 with the three in his career. 295, 376 OPS, 536 slugging. He has an over 900 OPS in the leadoff spot, and then it drops to when he's batting second, it drops to below 800. It's 792, and batting third is 801. Like if he's going to be in this spot, this is where he hits the best. So that's why I understand why he's up in that spot, and he played well last night. I mean, is that like to you? Do you feel like that is the things to come for Mookie? I think he went 2 for 4 when he scored 3 runs, had a stolen base. He was just a completely different guy yesterday.
Yeah, I think the other week he got that big base hit running it out, just with hustle, and one hustle hit, one I think what was it in oh god, one little just blooper hit can really change your mentality behind the plate, and I feel like he is going to start to come through, putting in the one spot, starting to produce. I feel like from here on out we're going to see Mookie starting to look like Mookie.
I mean, I think the biggest hit of Mookie Betts' Dodger career, you want to say that hustle hit against the Yankees, right? I mean, it definitely helped that Garrett Cole had a brain fart and didn't cover first base. But Mookie, he grinded that out, right? I mean, he hustled out of the box and he made it a play and ends up, becoming a huge part of that comeback in Game 5 of the World Series. So yeah, it's nice to see him starting to come around. Another guy that looks like he's starting to come around again is Teoscar Hernandez, who, when he got hurt early in the season, was really hitting the ball well for this team, got hurt, missed some time. And, I know there's been some talk that maybe he rushed himself back because he has not been the same hitter. But, I mean, Richard, it looks like the last week or so, I mean, we saw it in Boston when he hit for power. He had drove in a couple of runs yesterday. It's starting to feel like maybe Teo's coming back to life again as well, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, Teo's starting to look like Teo. I think you were right about that. I mean, these guys come back too soon because they're trying to be the warriors that they are and stand up for the team when the team needs them. And, their own production suffers, but they're being team guys. And that's what you love about it because, none of us ever feel right? And to go out there, day in and day out, even when you're not feeling right, I mean, that's what a pro is. And to go out there and grind it out until he's back on like he is now, I think he's going to be raking until the end of the year.
Would love it. Parker, what do you think about Teo?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've been mentioning it the last couple episodes. We've been wanting to see those names step up, and the names that we've talked about so far to start this, Teoscar, Mookie, and they did just that yesterday. So I think seeing both of them get over that mental hump, as you mentioned, Richard, is huge. Like, it's the smallest thing that could really get them going, and we have been clamoring all July. We need this month to end. The Dodgers just need July to be over with. And you can feel that they're like right around the corner on that home stretch of, oh my gosh, we're getting into August. We've kind of got that, elephant off our chest. We can breathe. Muncie's around the corner. We got some moves being made. Freeland, the trade deadline's around the corner. So they could just feel there's a new aura around the clubhouse. And Teoscar's always the one who really sets that tone. And of course, Muncie as well. So it's excited to see that he's getting some at-bats soon, Marcus. But yeah, super good to see Teoscar just getting in some good swings, good hacks.
Yeah, I definitely want to get to Alex Freeland in just a little bit. But first, Greg, I mean, we got to talk about the fact that a thing happened yesterday that doesn't happen very often. Namely, Yamamoto got run support. That's weird. That's weird, right?
Yeah. I was shocked when he actually got 5 runs. You're like, whoa. Save some of these runs for the guy, all right? Like, if you're only going to give him 1 or 2 a game, like, save a couple of these. But no, it was great to see that. I think that's all going to start to come around a little bit more often. Now that think about it this way, you have pitching this week in this series right now, and this is what people are going to have to go through. Other teams are going to have to go through now, is that you're going to go Yamamoto, Glasnow, Shohei, or Yamamoto, Glasnow, Shohei, Snell. Like, it's all starting to come back. You can see everything that's coming back here now. And the fact that Cincinnati is getting those 3 pitchers back to back to back, that's a dangerous place to be in. And I think the rest of the league needs to look at it and be like, we had a chance to surpass them. They went through their losing streak. They weren't hitting. Their pitching was bad. The bullpen was overused, and now guys are coming back, and the bullpen's going to shrink a little bit. The guys, Mookie's starting to hit. Teo's starting to hit. If Freddie was on an 11-game on base streak that he broke yesterday, or actually no, he got a hit at the end, so he's at a 12-game on base streak. It's all starting to come together here, Marcus.
No, it is. It really is. And to that point, Richard, we saw the return of Blake Trinan yesterday. I know it's kind of a shaky outing. He didn't make it through the 9th inning, but that feels like a big boost. I mean, Greg talked about the starting pitches sort of lining up, but the fact that they can shorten the bullpen and have some more quality arms, this just feels like reason to be optimistic right now.
Yeah, starting to get the arms that are going to be there in October. I mean, this is starting to look like the actual Dodgers team that we were all expecting to see. But during the regular season, everyone takes their little vacations and they play their AAA squad, and we end up with a little losing streak. But as you guys have said, hopefully the injuries work themselves out. We get our squad back and ready to roll for October.
So turning attention now to what is to come after the Dodgers get the win yesterday. You talked about it a little bit, Parker, but Alex Freeland is on the way. Right now the Dodgers dealing with injuries. Ha-Seong Kim looks like he's in pain. Just watching him swing hurts me because he looks like he's in pain right now. Tommy Edman dealing with some issues as well. So Alex Freeland looks like he's going to be here. Your expectations for him, Parker? What do you expect to see out of the kid?
Well, I mean, and shout out to the chat. They've been talking in there. They want to see, and I think that many Dodgers want to see Freeland play as much as he can as soon as he gets called up, so that you can throw Edman out in the outfield and you can do the Greg special. They do not want Teoscar and Wright, and you can do that if you have a guy like Freeland. So I think the main thing is, how is he going to perform at the plate? You look at his AAA performances so far across 25. The strikeout rate is what stands out to me. I think he's just at about a 25% rate. So he's hitting balls hard. He's hitting around that 270 mark. But it's just an overall rounded game. And I think that's the most important thing, is having consistent, well-rounded guys join this club. And Freeland can provide you that, Greg. Outside of the guys like Miguel Rojas, it's just when you're at that age, you can't play every day. So I'm glad that the Dodgers are listening and they're making the moves that the people want to see. Get some youth in there while obviously people are banged up.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will have some sort of impact. People have been clamoring for him. But that's what people do, right, Rich? Like at some point, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to see that prospect because he's hitting really well in AAA. I want to see that guy." It's a completely different world when you come up to the major leagues, as we're seeing over and over and over again with a lot of these guys. Andy Paez is working out, but Dalton Rushing is not getting a lot of hits and having some issues. Obviously, so that was what James Outman is a typical guy who came up super hot and just can't hit anything whatsoever when he does now come up. It has to be a fastball right down the middle, and he can get it. But hopefully Alex Freeland comes up. I don't know where he's going to play. He's going to play at third, I would assume, until Muncy comes back. When Muncy comes back, I just don't know. I don't think he's played much second base. I know he's a shortstop and a third baseman, but if you can play those, you can pretty much be able to play second base. But Ha-Seong Kim, I think, needs to take his time off. Whether this is a real injury or it's we need you to get some rest injury, it needs to happen.
Yeah, no, he's definitely in a tough way right now. I mean, the at-bats have been bad, and I think there is something actually going on with him. Just to kind of watch him, it looks like there's something going on. So I think this is kind of a good situation for him to maybe sit down for a little bit. So I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, for you, Richard, would you like to see Freeland playing every day? Do you think he'll be in more of a Dalton Rushing, like a couple times a week role? What is your hope for him when you see him?
I mean, I think it is more like a Dalton Rushing, a few times a week kind of role, see how he takes to it. And obviously, if he takes well to it, then give him more opportunities. I was a big Bobby Miller fan, so I really thought he was the guy for a while. So I totally understand how you get this idea of these prospects and you want to see them, and then they're out there and they lay an egg. So we want to see them. We want them to increase their trade value. We want them to become contributors, right? But at the end of the day, you need to have your roster full of guys that actually perform. So hopefully Freeland is a great stopgap until Muncy gets back, and hopefully he is a good step for the future for the Dodgers.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned Bobby Miller. I did see that he is going to start working out of the bullpen down there in Oklahoma City. So the Dodgers trying to figure out something to get Bobby Miller kind of back to where he was. So we'll see if that happens. Also, we are 2 days and a few hours away from the trading deadline. So I think some of these names, that we've talked about, the Millers, the Mays, maybe even the Dalton Rushings, who knows, they could be on the move for some help to kind of get this team through. Although, Greg, I'll say this, because guys are getting healthy, because, Muncy's coming back, because the pitching staff is starting to come around again. There are definitely still needs for this team. I still think they could use a bullpen arm and maybe some outfield help. But I will say that it feels a lot less urgent today than it did, say, a week or so ago.
Yeah, and they still need to kind of figure the whole thing out. But yeah, I think they're kind of setting us up for a trade deadline of, hey, you're getting all your big names back that were injured, and that's kind of your trade deadline. That's what it seems they're kind of setting up. I think they will get a relief arm, whether it's a high leverage or just a mid-tier leverage. I just can't. I don't think they're going to do a lot, and we're going to have to just kind of be happy with that, because they will say Snell, Muncy, and Trinan just coming back, and then Kopech and Tanner Scott. They're going to say that is our trade deadline. And that kind of makes sense to me, but it also, as fans, we want to see everything. I want to see Stephen Kwan come here and be in the outfield for the Dodgers. Obviously, Emmanuel Clase.
We're not going to see Emmanuel Clase right now.
It's not going to be a two. It's not going to be a two-tiered deal there anymore.
You ruined that one.
That's over. But
by the way,
a lot. Yeah,
Greg, to that point, quickly, did you see that the day all that news dropped? The Guardians game, their lineup was sponsored by Bet365.
Yeah.
That is it's because it's so rampant around. It's like, oh man, like you can't take it off because of that. Like you have to still put your sponsor out there. Oh, it's brutal, man.
But to your point, Greg, on this day last year was when the Dodgers acquired NLCS MVP Tommy Edman. And granted, he's not having the year that everyone had hoped, and there's nagging injuries, but there may be a guy like that who comes in, who's just there to bolster the defense out in the outfield, and they could end up being a key part of, this entire season in the postseason. I mean, we know it's not going to be the guys they acquired just for health reasons, like Esteury Ruiz and everybody. So maybe there's somebody sitting there who we just don't know yet, because Freeland sees the whole board.
Right. Well,
Thanks, John Ireland.
If you remember last year too, though, Parker, I mean, they acquired Edman, right about now, but they had to wait 3 weeks, almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He
was coming off of surgery. He was still rehabbing. So, I mean, it was a few weeks before we actually saw Tommy Edman in the lineup. And then, he hit the ground running with this team, and it was a great addition, and obviously was amazing in the postseason as well. So, I'm with you, Greg. I do think there's going to be a little bit of, hey man, we're getting guys back. This is sort of what we were trying to do. We're putting the band, I would say, back together, but together, because I don't know if the band has fully been together at any point this season. So we will see. But it should be an interesting next couple of days around the league. Yeah.
How would you feel? Like, how would you feel if they did absolutely nothing? No extra bullpen arms, no nothing. They just brought back Snell, Muncy, Tanner Scott, Michael Kopech, Brusdar Graterol. They just brought those guys back, and they pitched to what they were supposed to, but that was their only move. They do not move anybody.
Well, you asking me right now at 8:50 a.m. on July 29th, I would say, yeah, man, I'm okay with it, right? Like, it's like, because that was the point, right? They put this roster together in the hopes that they wouldn't have to go out and make big deadline moves, right? Maybe there'd be a small piece here or there that they'd need to fill in the gaps, but the plan was to build this team so that you wouldn't have to make those moves. Now, we all got a little bit fidgety and nervous earlier this month when things were going bad and guys were hurt, and we're looking around, watching the division lead shrink a little bit. But as I see everybody starting to come back, Muncy's going to be back soon. You mentioned the pitching, the fact that it looks like Mookie is starting to come to life at the plate. It looks like Teo is starting to come to life at the plate. Pages had broken out of that little mini slump he was in. This is starting to look like the team that we all got really over the moon about, right? The team that we said could win 116, 118 games. So as of this exact moment, I think I'd be okay with it. I reserve the right to change my mind in the next 48 hours.
How about you, Richard? Would you be totally fine if they did nothing, or would you be kind of pissed?
I'd be fine if they did nothing, because I feel like some of the internal changes that they're doing are the things that needed to be done, and that's what I'm most excited about. Like seeing Mookie in the one hole, I think that's going to change the offense. Getting the guys back, I think, is going to change the pitching staff. If they were to move Mookie to right field and do that whole, switch up where we have Teoscar in left and or Pajes, where we actually have a legitimate good defense again, I mean, I'd be really excited. Obviously Friedman's smarter than I am and is going to do what it takes to win. But I mean, those would be the moves that would get me excited, even more so than bringing in a big name.
I'm just putting this out here, Greg. In the month of July, Michael Conforto's hitting 274 with 3 home runs. I'm just throwing it out there. You can do what you want with it. I'm just giving you the information.
So okay, let's try and we only have a couple of minutes, but let's try and do this. He's hitting well in this month. That's great. I understand that. Do you trust in a playoff series in September or October to have Michael Conforto as your left fielder? Do you feel comfortable with him not only at the plate, because we've seen what he did for the first 3 months and 350 at bats, or in the outfield and playing left field and taking ridiculous routes and diving for balls that he shouldn't be diving for, or not understanding where the ball is around him? Would you feel comfortable with Conforto in left?
My brain says no, but the Dodger blue blood, the Dodger blue blood running through my veins says, what if he has an Edman-like postseason? Like what if he just goes bananas in the postseason?
But his defense is more of a concern, though. I mean, just the other day, I saw him take a really awful route, and then the ball kicked off the heel of his glove, leading to some runs that weren't necessary. So, I just have nightmares of Outman in center field from a few years ago, like dropping that ball with Kershaw. So defense is important. I'd rather see our legitimate defenders out there when October hits.
No, I'm with you. I texted Greg and Parker yesterday that I was wondering, does Conforto play left field with his eyes closed? Because sometimes it feels that way for sure.
But I will say, though, I probably trust him more than Rafael Devers and those damn worst record in baseball Giants right now the last month.
So,
that's too bad.
That's a great pull.
That's a shame. That's a shame, man. Anyway, hey, Richard, we're glad you could hang out with us. We're glad we didn't have any technical issues this time. Anybody you want to say hello to, though, before we let you go here on your birthday?
Yeah, thank you so much. My son, Evan, John and Mace were real nice to do the cards to him, the booklet to him at the event the other day. So that was nice. My daughter, Juliet, they're both at camp right now. My wife, all of that. And then, if anyone needs any real estate law, Richard Jacobs Law. There we go.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, man, we appreciate it. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hopefully the Dodgers can get a win on your birthday as they go game 2 of the series tonight against the Reds, 4:10 Pacific time. First pitch there. Stick around. First pitch coming up on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. It'll be Greg along with Travis and DeMarco, so stick around for that. We're back with you tomorrow on the Blue Review presented by LAX. By the way, transforming the travel experience, saving guest time. You can go to flylax.com/transforminglAX for more. In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow. The Blue Review. Have a good one, yo.